Gentlemen and ladies, we make you hear from the horse's mouth. And right here, I have the legend himself, Pupa Orits Williki, seated right here. You're welcome,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you for having me, Zico. Good to have you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
And like I said, we have a lot to talk about, but there is this one that is very, very key. On Solid Chat, we don't speculate. We allow our viewers to hear from the horse's mouth, like they say. What is it about you and Premier Music?
Oh, well, Premier Music had been my official recording company.
Okay.
I was signed to Polygram.
Okay.
And Premier Music bought over Polygram, some years back. And I had my contract signed with Polygram, and those contracts have expired. But over the years, I keep asking, since when Premier took over, I keep asking, what is happening to my royalties? I don't get my royalties, because in the contract with Polygram, it's enshrined there that I am entitled to statement of account every 90 days.
Okay.
And while we were with Premier, they never failed. They were religious about that, because they know it was an agreement. But Polygram left, and then Premier took over. And for like 9 years, we didn't hear from them. So until I had to write a personal letter, what is going on? How come I'm not getting a statement of accounts and all that? They now responded and apologized that they are overwhelmed with issues and blah, blah, blah. I think they sent me 100,000 naira check then. So I was like, what does this one stand for? Because there's no statement backing the 100,000. They said they will get back to me thereafter. And it took them another 5-6 years.
Wow.
They never did anything. So, and I asked them again, what happened? I think you understand that this contract is dead. They said no, it wasn't dead. That they have a very, very peculiar challenges, and they will resolve whatever issues. I said, for me, this contract is dead. I want to opt out. And then they wrote back and said, no, the contract can't be dead because you sign a contract with Premier, giving a Premier 25 years of exploration. That is exclusive, exploitation of my work for 25 years. That's what the contract said, I said, I know that is there, but you have breached the contract in many ways because you have not been responsive to the accountability. So you cannot be telling me of a contract when you are not responsive or owning to the responsibilities in the clauses. Again, they wrote and apologized that they know we will resolve all of this. That whatever I intend to do, I should always remember that they own the copyright in my works. I laughed. I told them, how can you own the copyright of the works you never sponsored? I sponsored my job. I didn't bring a demo tape to you. I brought to you a master tape, financed solely by me. So how come you tell me you're owning my right? So,
and there was no such agreement then,
that
as per the ownership of the copyright of your...
No, it's there that in 25 years they have a full exclusivity.
Okay. And
then they also, at the end of the contract, they also wrote that Premier own it, perpetually, So in perpetuality, they have the right for life. So I said, okay. I said, you have breached the contract in many ways because you were not supposed, I didn't sign a worldwide contract with you. The contract I signed with you was exclusive of all Francophone countries and French, French-speaking countries. So how come you are now selling my job worldwide? So They now said, well, they are going to get back to me on all the issues I raised. And behold, they never did.
They never did.
And I now called them, talked to them on phone that I was going to go to court. They said, no, there's no need to go to court because the contract is clear, especially the MD. He told me that the copyright is, is for life, it's perpetuity, so that's what the contract said. I said, in copyright? He said, yes. I said, okay, no problem. So that's how I sued them for 100 million. After suing them, this was last year, I think last year. So we've been in court, so trials were heard. And then only last week, Friday, Friday or Monday, Monday also, that's when the judgments came out and the court awarded the judgment in my favor.
Wow.
And, but they didn't give me the 100 million, So I said, okay, and I think there's still justice in Nigeria after all. I want to thank the judge for being true to himself, because all through the trial, you understand, they were trying to be invasive of information and all that, so which the judge also noted, so I want to thank him for standing tall and making justice, happen to those injustices that that had happened to me, for reversing it in my favor. So that's the story.
Wow. Before I go further, I would want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good fight. When you look at the way the record deal things, the record levels as of then, and now, in the recent past, we've had stories of people giving their signatures to terms they don't understand.
That's right.
From your story, I understand that the things were detailed.
Yes.
So it goes a long way to say that music and music business then was more organized than now. So how do you differentiate the two? What did they do then that we are not doing now? Because we have had issues of people going to sign things they don't understand.
To be quite honest with you, we are all victims of that kind of contract. You will ask why.
Okay.
The reason is because the artists are usually desperate. When you've been carrying your cassettes, of demo tape all over the place for 2-3 years, and then you come before an international record company that said they're interested in your work, so you don't care about whatever the contract looks like. All you want to do is just be recorded and become popular. That's all you're interested in. So
wow.
Most of us sign those contracts. But you see, what has happened in my own case now, for example, is like, okay, the contract was inconsistent in the clauses. Okay, like the judgment rightly said. How could you said the contract was supposed to be, first of all, 3 years, exclusivity without the artist recording, with any other company, which was perfect. 3 years, 3 albums, and thereafter you said the company will own the copyright in the works, exclusively for 25 years to exploit the works without you, doing business with this job with any other company. Great. 25 years looks so far when we sign it, But after 25 years, this is 37 years, you see claiming that you own the work when the contract had expired 25 years ago, or 37 years ago, I beg your pardon. And then you started publishing my work to, a lot of companies abroad. I never signed publishing an agreement with you. How come you're overreaching me with the idea of becoming my publisher when you're not? And they've been doing business and selling my jobs outside without recourse to accountability, without telling me at all. So all these things blew out because of the research I did, in Europe and America. I realized that they have been publishing my work, signing contract with other companies. So that was what really angered me, and said, okay, I have to go to court. I haven't seen all of these things they have been doing. So the impunity was really bad. Even when I was talking to them, I said, this thing is wrong. They started telling me that, oh, they own it for life. The contract is in perpetuity. In this life, let us see what the court will say.
Wow.
You know.
Well, before you begin to mix up issues, you're hearing this from Pupa Orits Williki himself. I will take a quick break and I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Greetings, lovely people. My name is Buchi, and you're watching Solid Chat with Mr. Zico. Don't go away. You'll be glad you did.
You're welcome back. Yes, I still have the legendary Pupa Orits Williki right here on Solid Chat. I'm still with you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, as it stands, interesting story there and a good fight.
Thank you.
What's the way forward? Do you see them appealing the judgment?
Well, it will be up to them. We are not adverse to them appealing, you know. When it comes to that, we have no fear about that.
Okay.
Even if you took this case to the Supreme Court, I have no fear that I will get justice because it's glaring.
It's clear.
It's clear.
It's glaring.
Very
Yes.
clear.
Okay. We pray they do the right thing. And what is your advice for today's artists who just sign things?
Basically, it's for them to learn from our mistakes. You understand? Do not put your hand on paper, you know, on any contract without seeking for the advice of a lawyer. You know, ensure you take your contract to a lawyer to scrutinize and then tell you where the pitches are. There's no contract that is one way. You know, if you invited me today to come and sign a contract with you, I will request for the contract, you know, ahead of time, study it and tell you, oh, so and so close, I'm not comfortable with it. We'll discuss about it. Is that to expunge it or to rephrase the wordings? And so these are the things you ought to do before putting your hands on paper to signing. Not just, because you want to blow.
Yeah, that's the word.
You just begin to sign. No, don't make the mistakes that we made before.
So Pupa is saying, as an artist, as a musician, you don't just sign things. Probably because you want to get the fame. And again, get a lawyer for
important.
proper interpretation of the things, the clauses you don't understand. All right, Pupa, away from the court case. When we start discussing issues like this, the tension begins to go high. But I want to break it down now. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? Oh, give me fresh fish with a goosey soup.
Wow.
And pounded yam.
Wow.
That's my favorite.
Fresh fish with a goosey soup.
Yes, I actually prefer the smoked fish.
Wow.
But each one, you know, that's available can go.
Okay, maybe guys behind the camera, you should make arrangements. Maybe we'll start eating fresh fish on Solid Chat. All right. You came to a very serious, you took a very serious position in the music business in Nigeria, I think in 1989.
That's right.
When you released Tribulation.
Yeah.
What was the experience like?
The experience was easy for me because hitherto I had been behind the scene making other stars.
Okay.
You know, so it was a road that was not strange, you know, to tread on.
Okay, you were already there.
I was behind the scene,
okay,
making others, you know, stars. And so there is no any artist of note in Nigeria of the 80s to 90s that you will not see part of my, you know, contributions to it. If you name it, from Ras Kimono to Majek Fashek to, in fact, Majek Fashek, the very first demo, you know, we did it.
Wow.
That same Send Down the Rain.
Wow.
We did it in Benin. Myself, Amos McRoy, and James Etina, a guitarist for Sayamori Joseph. You know, we did that in Benin many years ago. You know, so we're the first to actually do that song. You know, so to mandate us, you know, all of them, Chris Umba, all the list of, you know, those popular artists, you know, that they had from 80s to 90s.
Yeah.
They have a bit of me.
Okay, let's go deeper into your background. You know, those days, it was a difficult thing for parents to allow their children go into music.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? Were you opposed by your parents?
Not necessarily so, because my father was a Baptist, you know, reverend, and he was passionate about preaching the word of God, and he was always doing open air campaign rallies, so he can decide to say he's coming to Agege Stadium.
Okay.
And then we all go there and do the campaign. And then the sweetest part was because musically we were in charge, and so I started from the church as a church choir right from when I was 8.
Wow.
Little boy would stand at the front of the choir.
Wow.
So I started out that way. So, but when my father exited, he left very early. He hardly was 49 before he left. And so for me, I felt that okay, we can still do this, propagating the gospel, through music, and I find reggae music very comfortable.
Then why reggae? I wanted to ask why reggae?
Reggae music is a spiritual music. It was the best platform, the springboard, for me to perfectly express myself. I couldn't have been able to express myself in the medium or the genre of rock or pop or high life. Reggae, was spiritual to me, and the uniqueness of it was perfect. So the arrangement of the gospel music I was playing, which most people didn't actually know, they just knew that I was playing reggae. But when you check out the lyrics, they were all Bible inspired, from Tribulation to Conqueror to Ten Commandments, to all of them. All of those songs were Bible inspired. And that's why the days where we used to have the vinyl, you see the album, I would detail where the inspiration came from the Bible.
Wow.
I've always written that in all of the albums. So if you have the album, go turn the back sleeve, and then you will see all of the story now.
Okay. When a legend is talking, you will know that indeed a legend is talking. I'll go on a quick break one more time, and I'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Nwaji Akuvoice, the king of high life music, Nigeria. Please keep watching Solid Chat with Mr. Zico Ebano.
All right, you're welcome back. We are still on Solid Chat, and you'll agree with me, it's getting more interesting because when a legend is talking, you will know the sound of a legend. All right, Pupa, I'm still with you.
Yeah.
Now, talking about your early days, you chose reggae.
Yeah.
Then, I want to find out, were there role models? Who were you looking up to?
Okay.
What inspired you to go into? Were there people you were listening to their songs or something?
Yes, if I tell you honestly, I was listening to more rock and roll music than reggae.
Okay.
So all the groups like Dire Straits, Ozone, groups like the Eagles, groups like Total Rainfall, and then a lot of crazy rock and roll. So
wow.
I enjoyed listening to it. It influenced my songwriting till tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you listen to Conqueror and all of those albums, you will see the influence of rock, inside of them. So in reggae, I was a wide listener, of good music actually. I enjoyed high life, I tell you. I enjoyed high life of Osita Osadebe very much. I enjoyed the folklore music of Dan Maria Jos.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed deep reggae music as played by the root rock rocks, the traditional reggae like Bob Marley, Aswad, Steel Pulse. Those were my favorite albums I listened to. And then Peter Touch.
Wow.
Because of the spiritualness of the personality. So Peter Touch was a very, very highly and deep personality spiritually.
Yes.
Most people never knew that. So those were the kind of music I was listening to, and they kind of influenced my songwriting in a way. Because you've got to be inspired to write a song. Unlike these days where cook up beat for me, make I just so, no, we're not trained that way.
Wow.
You've got to be inspired.
You get your beat from your song.
Yes, you
don't really get your song from the beat.
You understand? Okay. So, and it's not just a song like Don't Blame the Youth, for example, or Jah Works was not a song I wrote in a sitting. The melody can just come. I store the melody. I store it. without the message. The message might come 3-4 months after.
Wow.
So you go back to the melody and you start writing the wordings, and only when you are inspired, that's when you do all of that. So we don't do, jam session recording, no. So a song could take you about 3 months to complete.
Wow.
So song like Conqueror, for example, took more than 3 months before I completed it. So first verse may just come while I am riding a bicycle or while I'm on the street. The inspiration can just come. The first lines, so the chorus might just come while I'm having my bath. So you go and put down the chorus, and then you leave it at that, So the message comes inspiringly, not you trying to just write fixed words into melody. No, you must be inspired to write the song.
Wow. The difference is really clear from what is obtainable today.
And that's why they stay there. So
one question coming to my mind right now. You were very close to late Raskimono. May he so rest in peace.
It was my Siamese twin.
How does his demise affect you?
No, he affected me. I do not even want to discuss that anymore.
Wow.
He affected me, harshly. Because that's the brother I had in the industry that, we're like Siamese twins. If I went on tour, if I'm coming on the road, because we used to go on tour, buy plantain on the road. If I bought 4 heads of plantain, 2 were for him and 2 for me. If I bought 10 tubers of yam, 5 was for him and 5 for me. So if you came to my house now, you're going to see, life-size, huge photograph of me and him in my sitting room and all that. So we were really very, very close. And that's somebody, in a whole day, we may call each other for more than 7-8 times a day. Sometimes just to insult ourselves, you understand? Any interest, any matter of interest, politically, you can call me to just yap, So it's a brother I miss dearly, and most painfully was when he left. Because we were in the middle of a project. We're actually in the middle. We had finished.
Is it the pull him down syndrome?
Yes, pull him down syndrome.
I remember.
You remember? So we just completed one track, and we were to go for the others. So, and we were on tour when the whole thing started. We were on tour, and he was supposed to be going back to America on Thursday or so. So we were in south, in Port Harcourt to be precise. And so he left me there and said they were going to move on Thursday. So he came in on Wednesday having a little cough and malaria, and I told him, seek the doctor's advice. Don't do self-medication, and make sure you rest on Wednesday. He said, okay. I told the girlfriend, I said, please take the phone from him all through Wednesday so that he doesn't get distracted with him, which she obeyed and did. All through Wednesday I called, the phone was switched off. So by the time I came into Lagos on that Thursday morning, I just called him up and he said they were getting ready to go to the airport. He said, but he's still feeling the malaria stuff. I said, but you'll be fine. I yabbed him and said, if they know you get malaria, they're not going to carry you. So I yabbed him. He said, bomb, bucklat. I said, okay, no, I'm just telling you. So at the end of the day, by 10 in the night, I thought he must have boarded. I called him. The line didn't go. So I said, okay, the following day, I probably will call him when he would have arrived. Only to be called up at about 9 in the morning by FA. Say, your brother is in coma. I said, which brother? He said, Ras. I said, in the US or where? He said, no, they couldn't travel last night anymore. Are you kidding me? He said, where are you? He said they were at Lagoon Hospital, Ikeja. So I just, hurriedly I went there. And I was shocked at what I saw. With gas cylinders and everything all faced in me, I was like, how did we get to this point? It was fine yesterday. How did it get to this point? So it was a devastating story that I would not like to.
Okay, let's leave that before one gets emotional right here. Okay, now your music addressed the ills in the society.
That's right.
Unlike these days when people are singing about nudity, boobs, and all, you addressed the bad side, the bad thing that the government of the day at then were doing.
Yeah.
What were the challenges? Because I remember then government, we have always had that kind of government here anyway.
Yeah.
They didn't take it lightly on people who look into their faces and talk to them. What was the challenge? It was during the time of Babangida, I remember.
It was military era.
Yes.
We had a brush with the military. Fight the fire, for example, put me to trouble.
Wow.
Because I was unfortunate, to be in the studio while the SAP riot was going on. And by the time I finished recording at Decca Studio at Yaba, so I wanted to just drive out, and then behold, those Unilag boys, there's so many, they saw me, they hijacked me, and so I was forced to join them, and Fight the Fire happened to be the song they were using. We were moving from the street, one street, we sit on top of the vehicle, and at the end of the day, that brought me out, in the following week, I got invitation to come to the SOS office, So I went there, and I got there in the morning at about 9-10 o'clock, and they took me in, sat me down in one office. I was there waiting for the person who was to talk to me. From that morning till 6 p.m. nobody spoke to me.
Wow.
So I was beginning to wonder, am I already detained or what? So it was going to about 7 o'clock when they said, Oga want to see you. So I went inside, and then they said, my friend. I said, sir, what system do you want to change? I said, sir, it's only a song. What do you mean it's only a song? I said, it's only a song. I just wrote it. It's a song, like any other song. You say, you got to change the system. I say, which system you want to change?
Wow.
So I insisted it was a song.
A song.
And there's no more explanation I'll give to that. He said, okay. Then he left me there. Started addressing, left me on the seat, went out, talk. I think that about after 7 going to 8, now came back. You know what? Tomorrow you have to come back here 9 o'clock. If you fail, you have yourself to blame. I said, thank you, sir. So I was coming like that, for 2 weeks. And they said I must be reporting. And when I come, they don't do anything. They don't attend to me. So by 3-4 o'clock, so I now went to Gani. Gani was my godfather then. I went to Gani. I said, see what's going on. He said, don't go again. Let them come and arrest you.
That's the late Gani family.
Yes. So let them come and arrest you. Don't go again. I said, yes, sir. So I refused to go the following week. So I was expecting they would come after me, but they never came. That was the
end. Maybe you were lucky because a whole lot happened then.
Yes, of course.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's getting very interesting here. I'll take another break and I'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ngozi Oji. Keep watching Solid Chat with Mr. Zico.
You're welcome back. And I am still here. And I still have the legendary Pupa Orits Williki right here on Solid Chat. And I can tell you, on Solid Chat, we bring what I call solid guests. Gentlemen and ladies, you will agree with me that today I have another solid guest. I'm still with you, sir. I've gone around your office.
Yeah.
A whole lot of awards.
Yes.
Though I won't say I'm surprised because you married them. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel fulfilled that you are appreciated by people. What you even have here, this is not all. You still have a lot of them in my other office.
Wow.
So it goes to give you a sense of fulfillment that it was not money after all. So we were not playing music for the money. We were playing it for the passion because it was a calling as far as we were concerned. And when you are now capping it up with an award, then it goes to show that you did a good thing. That's why you were awarded. So I appreciate all the awards there.
Okay. This is Kaori Music
and media.
Yeah. Okay, and everything happens here. I can tell you that for free. Quality studio, great cameras,
editing
room, live recording studio, and all.
Yeah.
So if you're into entertainment, if you're into music, and you're looking for a better place to do it, hey, just send us a message. It will get to Pupa. All right, maybe apart from the things I've just mentioned, what's obtainable here?
Basically, here we can train.
Okay.
We can train you depending on what you want to learn. We can train you on editing.
Okay.
We used to have teacher for teaching music, but we don't do that now. We can train you on production, professional production. You know, we can train you to be a director in directing. We can teach you here. We can train you to be that. Okay. We can also train you to be a producer. You know, a music producer. You know, a good one at that. So those are the things that go up. Beyond that we also have the studio. Majorly, the studio, I do more of personal things, and then people, I'll discover. You know, I'm going to play you some of the jobs that we did. You know, so because it hurts me badly when you look at Nigeria today, where you have the abundance of so much talent who necessarily do not have any platform to blossom, you know, to either train themselves or to expose themselves, you know. So when you look at a whole lot of them, it breaks my heart because there's not much I can do, and not many I can take at a time.
If we cannot make it forward.
Yes. So, but we still go as far as encouraging those we feel really have it. You know, and so we do that. Then you can book your studio here. You know, it's a professional studio.
Wow.
We do jobs for people from Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, because the studio is online.
No, the standard is,
is out of they come from Germany. You know, we do recording here for them. You know, sometimes from Italy, Spain. So we do recording.
Oh, okay, Pupa. Now away from the studio.
Yeah.
Let's talk about copyright.
Yeah.
Today you hear Koson is either fighting Pima. What's your take on the whole thing about concerning copyright matter in Nigeria?
It was a good thing. I'll tell you that the only way to compare what happened to copyright in Nigeria, the growth of copyright in Nigeria, the only way to compare it is the movement of Israelites, you know, from Egypt, you know, to Canaan land. You and I know it that it takes less than a few kilometers, you know, between Gaza and Egypt. You understand? So how come the Israelites, you know, took that journey for over 40 years? You understand? So it's a journey that would have been done in just, you know, few days.
Yes.
And then they are there.
Considering the distance.
Yeah, exactly. And so how come they spend, so if you calculate actually what their journey movement was like, it means they were doing like 3.7 meters a day. You understand? If you break it down from 40 years, you understand? So 3 meters is just like from here to here.
Yeah.
So it's like moving a cycle. So, but all that happened because Jehovah wanted to show how mighty he was, to show them that he's a mighty God, you understand? And it's the same way the copyright system, you know, grew up in Nigeria, you know, where it ought to have taken just a few moments. It took donkey years, you know, donkey years of fighting, misunderstanding each other, whereas Koson is saying there's got to be one, we are saying no. There has to be choice, you know. There has to be more than one, so that people will have a choice.
Okay.
So that was basically the issue.
Wow.
That was basically the issues. And so the regulatory body that time said, you know, they can only deal with one. And we said, no, it is wrong. The interpretation of the Copyright Act never said so.
Okay.
And so the battle was
just what this whole battle is.
Yeah.
But so people should be allowed to make choice.
So at the end of the day, we fought the battle, and thank God to God be the glory. You know, we eventually, after 14, 16 years, you know, of the battle, the regulatory body, you know, had to obey the decision of the National Assembly, because we went as far as the National Assembly, who now made a resolution that we should be granted license, you know, with immediate effect. You know, and so we came on board as well. But then we were there since 1984, and the structures we had was destroyed in less than 8 years, and we were practically having nothing. And so when we were giving back the license, you know, some few years ago, so we had to start, you know, rebuilding and replanning, you know, to get to where we are now. And so people had been using our works freely. People have been enjoying using our works without recall to monetization. And so that time had come where we say, okay, now the structure is on ground. You know, if you use music,
you pay for it,
and you have not been paying, know that you are breaking the law. You can be prosecuted criminally, and you can be sued. You know, so, and we did not just want to start doing that to everybody. So as I speak to you now, there's a lot of publicity going on everywhere. That, okay, if you know you use music, please obtain a license. So when you fail, then you begin to see the long arm of the law catching up with you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just nice and decent people. We are almost rounding up. But before we do that, we'll take a few more questions. Then I'll go on a break and I'll be right back.
Hey yo, Francis Odega here, the one you call Mr. Gerara here. Keep watching Solid Chat with Mr. Zico. You know what I'm saying? That's how we roll. Holla.
You're welcome back. Wow, what a time. Pupa,
Yeah, man.
there is this controversy about your origin.
Yeah.
And I would want you to say it yourself. Where are you from?
There's
Some
no
people say Ethiopia, some people say Edo, some people...
There's no controversy.
Okay.
You know, Adowa is my ancestral home.
Okay.
Adowa is in Ethiopia, up north, northern province.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
That's where our great-grandfather migrated from.
Oh, wow.
And he was dealing with slaves, you understand, with the Portuguese. And when they came to Nigeria, they betted in a place called Ubodede in Warri. That's where they naturalized. So we naturalized as a Shekiri people, you know. My mother is from Edo State, so I'm a man of many tribes, because my maternal father is Ijo.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And so my paternal father, you know, became Shekiri, and so we naturalized as, you know, a man of many births. So I have the blood of Yoruba flowing in me. I have the blood of Ijo flowing in me. I have the blood of Edo flowing in me. I have the blood of Shekiri flowing in me. I have the blood of Ethiopia, you know, flowing in me.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
And that brings us to that point where we allow our guests to give us a native proverb and explain. So from where, which one now? Is it the Ethiopian proverb or the Shekiri proverb? Because you will actually explain.
Okay.
We want to learn.
Okay. Let me do Edo. It said, Owama Gboma, Ori setting. You understand? That simply means that if your house doesn't sell you, then outside will not have any access to you.
Can you take that again?
Yeah.
Obama.
Owama Gboma, Ori setting.
Wow.
You understand? That is, if you are not sold in your house, like you have enemies in your house, you know, if the enemy in the house doesn't put you out, then the one outside will not get you.
Interesting. All right, Pupa. When people see a musician, especially one with dreadlocks, they will believe that the person must do drugs. How do you get high?
Musically.
Wow.
Musically. Music shot me far more than any drug.
Wow.
You know, especially when you play it right, you know. If I heard my music play rightly, for example, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm in another realm. Transformation will happen in a
So
jiffy.
you don't need to smoke any other thing.
If I smoke, I would die. I mean, if I add that one to, I'll be electrocuted. Spiritually.
Interesting. So you had that coming from Pupa. He does not smoke. In fact, there is no other highness apart from the one that comes from the.
In fact, I hate cigarettes so much that
Wow.
if I know you smoke, I don't shake your hands because that
Imagine.
smell, I don't like it.
Interesting. All right, nice and listen, people. You will agree with me that it has been fun today on Solid Chat. We were able to catch a big fish, okay? And at this point, I will take you around, okay? You see what is happening in Kauri music and media. One more time, I want to say thank you for being part of today's episode of Solid Chat. You have enjoyed it, no doubt. Please share, click the notification button, and follow our page, okay? Till I come your way again, I want to say shalom.